What's going on, YouTube? So welcome back to the channel. My name is Rock, automation and email marketing specialist. And if you enjoy everything business, email marketing, automation, and online business and sales, this is the place to be. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. That way you get the notifications first. So today we're going to be talking about how to use automation to make sales daily. If you're a business owner or you're just trying to find ways to make money online, you need to be able to automate your business. And that's going to be tasks that you can free up your time so that you can continue to do high income activities. A lot of times people don't automate, they do everything by hand, and they find themselves frustrated because they don't understand why they're not getting results. A lot of times it's not due to lack of effort, it's due to lack of time. So following these methods I'm about to show you is going to show you how you can build trust faster, how you can get in front of your target audience faster, and how you can make sales on autopilot. So again, check out the whole video, and thanks again.
All right, everyone. One, thank you for coming here today. We're going to talk about how you can use LeadBreeze and the automations to kind of 10x your sales and get better results. So when we think about automation, we normally think about things that makes your life easier. Think about it from a real relationship building perspective. And with that, the biggest thing in business in general, from what I've been finding out over the years, is speed. How quick can you get customer information in front of your ideal customer so they can get the next actions, so they can take the next steps? Normally, we got a huge company or a bigger brand, you get flooded with a bunch of things to do, and then you forget about the person you were supposed to contact back 2 days ago. But in that time period, they're all talking to somebody else and having their questions answered and their fulfillment elsewhere. So you lose out because you weren't quick enough. This is where automation comes in. Automation is going to speed up that process so that you can have your messaging, your FAQs, your trust building. All of those can be done without you being. So what is the first thing that you really could be automating using LeadBreeze? One of the things that you should be automating is, for one, your client acquisition. How do you get leads? How do you nurture those leads? And so if you're a member, then this area should be familiar. When you make your account, you all have one. It's called lead magnet automations. And what's a lead magnet? You offer something for free in exchange for client contact information. A lot of times it's a name, email, and phone number. And what that allows you to do, that pretty much allows you to have the ability to contact them over a certain amount of days, certain amount of weeks, et cetera, et cetera. So you do that because it's not about that initial sale. It's not about that initial point of contact. It's about the things that happen afterwards. You look at any ad on Facebook, on Instagram, or just whatever platform you're on, you notice most people aren't running ads to an actual shop page or to a home page. They run their ads to a page where you can collect customer data. So you can get name, emails, and phone numbers and convert at a high rate. And so once you're in LeadBreeze, this is where you're going to start those actions. So let's go ahead to a free training lead magnet example. So for one, you see this is forms. Now in LeadBreeze, you can make forms for anything. I highly recommend you have a website, you're building a website, you're putting a form in the website or in the top header so that they have a reason to opt in. So somebody says, hey, I want your free ebook, I want your free guide, I want to get this quote from you. Then you're able to deliver that in a streamlined fashion. So again, the question is, how does this help me get more customers? We're going to get to that. So it's going to help you, again, with speed, and it's going to help you be more organized with who's in your pipeline. So for example, somebody grabs one of my free forms, they're automatically added in the create opportunity pipeline as a new lead. So now I can look inside my pipelines and I can track my daily progress. How many fresh leads did I get today? I don't got to spitball this. I know this because I have the data. And so now when you have a pipeline that's established, again, you can shift people through the pipeline automatically or by hand, doesn't matter. But again, it allows you to be much more laser focused and have more attention in your business. A lot of times we keep that info up here, keep that info on spreadsheets, and it's a headache over time. But using automation and these workflows, specifically in LeadBreeze, allows you to forego that process. So the next stage is the add tag section. So if you add a tag, and the reason why you add tags is to know why people are in your backend system. Like For me, I offer many different freebies. I can't just have a row of new leads and no context of why they're there. Whether they're for coaching, they're there for services, they're interested in LeadBreeze, they want to know about automation, they want email templates I offer. I tag them so I know why they're there. You know, why they book a call, whether they didn't show up for the call, whether they canceled the call. I call it tag them and bag them. Every person that goes through your pipeline, that goes through your automations, it should have one of these two to be the first thing. Not the text, not the emails. Either they're putting an opportunity if it's appropriate, or they have a tag at it, so you can know why they're in your system. And then for me, I do a welcome email. So now we're diving a little bit into email marketing, but use this as well as using automations. Email marketing is a big part of it. And so that first email, that first point of contact is, of course, your delivery. Whatever you promise the person, whether that's that quote, whether that's that free guide, whatever that may be, then you send them something immediately. 9 times out of 10, if you don't have this in place, you got to sit down with a spreadsheet, go through your Gmail or whatever you use, and try to send stuff one at a time. And then you forget who you send, and you're losing out on money by doing it. This takes that off your plate. And then the second one is a text. That thank you text is going to, again, just people check their phones more often than their email. So this gives the notification of, okay, boom, hey, I got something in my email, I need to go check it. That's, that may say, okay, well, I don't need to do that, but those small nuances is going to separate you and the competition, right? Just taking those small steps and removing those gaps. A lot of times you have a big plan, but the gaps is what's really killing you because you're still losing money when people fall through the cracks. So the next stage here is wait, because we don't want to bombard our leads with messaging all at one time. We don't want to do it all at once because it's not going to be effective. Here, you space it out however you want to. I tend to do 24 hours. So the minute they sign up, they get this email. 24 hours later, they get the next one because I want to be top of mind for my potential customer. Ideally, you want to too. So by creating a wait step, this can be, indicative of however you want to do. You can do 2 days, you can do minutes, hours, days, so this makes it easier for you. But this is definitely a step you need when you want to tweak your automations. Showing yourself as part of your brand is a major thing. So for example, if you do have somebody that's just interested, 9 times out of 10, you're not selling them anything new. So what's going to be the difference maker between buying from you and buying from somebody else? Again, it's going to be you as the individual. So that's why I said putting a backstory email, a little bit about what you do, a little bit about your journey. And then that's going to, again, open that opportunity for a two-way conversation. We want to think of automation and email marketing as opening a gateway to two-way conversations, not just bombarding you with sales messages. Not what we want to do. We wait 24 hours. And again, a testimony email. So again, that difference maker between person A going to you and person A going to somebody else. Now that you've seen you show them your backstory, you show them why you do what you do, how long you've been doing it, why you love to do it. The next email, then they get the testimony. They get to see why you are the so-called GOAT. Why should they take those actions and what other people have to say? I know I shop on Amazon a lot. And so normally the first thing I do, I look at the reviews before I buy anything. I don't care how cool it looks, how good it looks. I check the reviews before I purchase anything. Same thing with your business. You have to understand having a good, healthy book of testimonials and feedback and is publicly shown is going to, again, separate you and open that trust more. Okay, well, this person has 54.5 star reviews. Gotta be, can't be all that bad. So then that's how you're going to open that up even more. We'll wait another 24 hours. Now, this is going to be depending on your business model, but this can be either more content. For me, it says invite because this is when I share my offer. I say, hey, this is how I can help you. Let's sit down for a call. Let's sit down for X, Y, and Z. So again, the same way I send an email, I send a follow-up text that same way. So that next steps after that, regardless of what those steps are, I have my particular steps. So let's say after you send your email sequence and you have next steps starting from there. Whatever that break in action is, and they're moving along a sequential customer journey, put a creator update opportunity right there. And so, and just a quick refresher how to access this, you literally hit a plus button, start typing in the word create, and you can add it right here. Make sure you add your pipeline stages. You can make them any stage you want. Make sure you write the right contact tags and opportunity names. And then boom, you can add it easily. And again, for every time somebody moves into a different stage of your sales process, you should be tagging. Tagging, again, what I said earlier, tagging them allows you to understand where people are. So you can look at the contact section, filter everything, and then you can see what stage people are. So let's say I want to talk to everybody who I sent a booking link to. I can do that because I make sure I tag everybody appropriately. So after this step, again, another 24 hours. And here is my second point of contact. I'm just, again, asking someone to get on the phone with me again. And it's the power is in the follow-up. Sometimes people don't take action the first time you want them to. They just need something else that may be distracted. They may have put their phone on silent, whatever that may be. Create that second point of contact and don't be afraid to go after that sale and ask for the sale. And then here, just additional content. So update that stage accordingly. Because again, every piece of messaging I give somebody, I create a stage for it. So I know that they got that particular message. Wait 24 more hours. And then I have some additional action. So I have a set task inside of LeadBreeze to know that, hey, this person went through the sequence, we didn't book a call with us. So pretty much we need to be proactive. We should probably reach out to them and see if they're a good fit or not. And then we follow it up with a nice kind voicemail. And so we wait until 24 hours and we slide up to the manual call category. So again, this is my entire lead. This is my actions from the start of the buyer's journey to the very end. So what did I accomplish here? Okay, so for one, they got their freebie, but they wanted it in there for free. They got that. Then they got to understand more about my brand, about myself, my beginnings. Then they got some testimonials to see that if I move forward, will I be disappointed? That's really the only reason why people move forward. They want to see what you've done for other people and see if it makes sense for them. And so they kind of use testimonials as that last leg to stand on. And then the actual call to action, which is the invite. So we restructured the buyer's journey from, okay, I want you to buy something, but now let's work backwards. If you don't move forward, it's probably because you didn't see enough or you didn't get that testimonial, or you need proof. You need social proof if I'm good enough. Okay. So before you get the social proof, you kind of need to understand what I'm doing to begin with and how I got to this point in life. Then that's where the backstory comes in. So again, when you create automations, even though you start at the top, you want to reverse engineer it. Start from the sale and work backwards, because now you're going to be able to make adjustments. You're going to be able to create certain things that's going to make more sense than just thinking, I'm going to do this, and hopefully they end up here. You don't want to do that. So that's the way you can use it from a lead generation, client acquisition perspective. So now let's look at it from a purely operational perspective. So again, and actually, I'm going to switch gears here. Before we go to the operational side, I want to go to the cold outreach, because there is nothing wrong with doing cold outreach to people. And so let's say you have a big contact list of people, ideal customers, leads you've gotten somewhere, whatever that may be. You can automate your client outreach. So for one, if I were to upload a list of contacts into the system, I give them a certain tag. Then they get, again, these 3 follow-up messages. I don't have to sit around and do that every day. I can put them in here where it says initial cold email. They get, some brief text from me. Then we move on to the next stages. And this is important because, again, a lot of people are afraid to do cold outreach. They think it's time consuming. The most time consuming part of cold outreach is actually finding the leads that fit you the most. So this is what some people do. They'll go to somebody, buy a bunch of leads and dump them in here. Once you have them qualified, then you can put them through here and get better results long term. So that's kind of what I want to touch on. If anyone's considering doing cold outreach, remember, there is a method to it. From an operational standpoint, a lot of you that are here today probably seen this automation firsthand. This is what happens when someone is in limbo, meaning if they are ready to move forward, they're not ready to move forward, or they need more time. You don't have to sit on the back of your mind and think, okay, what do I do next? You can have that operational process to reach back out to and follow up that way. So let's take a look at this. When somebody books an appointment, I remove them from all my other workflows. Now, why do I do that? I do that because I don't want everyone to get duplicate messaging. So let's say they're in the middle of my sales flow. Let's say they got my freebie, and the next step, they want to go ahead and book a call. I don't want them to continue getting emails and texts about my other stuff if they've already booked the call. The goal is accomplished. They don't need understanding more of what I have to offer. They don't need to see testimonials. I can accomplish that on the call. So I don't want to flood their inbox with personal stuff and give them a bad customer experience. And of course, the next area is a tag. So a tag demo. Again, we want them to see exactly, we want to see exactly why they're in our ecosystem. That's massively important. And then, of course, confirmation message. email confirmation. We create that update opportunity that you understood, that you saw earlier. Wait 5 minutes. I create a mock thank you voicemail where it just dial the person's phones one time and leave a voicemail. High value tips. Now this is key. I tell everyone, if your goal is to book appointments, get people on phone calls, this right here is going to be the most valuable thing you can do, because a lot of times people book calls days in advance, sometimes weeks in advance. So that time, day by day, their interest is the window. So how do you keep them engaged? You simply give them content, give them things that when they see, it makes sense and it keeps them engaged. How many times have you experienced where somebody's booked a call on a Friday or like that next week and they don't show up because they forgot about it and it was no longer in their priority window? They don't care. But if you gave them some high value tips on what problem you can solve for them, some stats, maybe some more testimonials, you're going to keep them engaged. So now when you sit down with them, the question of price isn't really that much of an objection. It's more of a question of fit at that point. So that's how you really create that dynamic, by delivering content in that window, whether it's, hey, you want to do a day before the call, 2 days for the call, hour for the call. It doesn't really matter. You just need to give them something in between. That's this point and this point. Because remember, it's a customer journey. So it's not all sales, these are the steps. This is how you're going to really transcend yourself and be that difference maker. So we have a step where it's 30 minutes before, then they get a demo reminder and an email reminder. And remember, some of you have seen this. This is masterfully important. This is that last operational piece. So 30 minutes after the meeting, I have a text sent to myself, and the text has 3 things. If they showed and paid, showed and not ready, no show. Why do I do that? Because at the end of the day, if I have 6 calls, 7 calls, 8 calls, I don't have time to sit around and think who did what. Don't have time for that, literally. So it makes more sense for me to get an alert on my phone. How the meeting go with Jack? Okay, Jack didn't show up today. Now I don't have to reach out to, hey, Jack, I'm sorry you didn't make it. Let's, if you're still interested, let's do that. No one has time to do that. Again, what do we say at the beginning of the call? Speed. Speed is the difference maker between if you're going to make money or lose a sale. So instead of me focusing on creating this perfect email to get Jack back on the phone, I'm going to just click this link and send it to Jack. And then Jack's going to get another email about 30 minutes later about, hey, sorry, I didn't make it. Hopefully, we can get you back on the schedule and show you this. And the next day, Jack's going to get another text message, another email. And then so he's going to get through his own personal sequence of him getting back on the phone with us, because maybe he forgot about the meeting. Maybe he just didn't have good Wi-Fi. We don't know why Jack didn't show up. We need to find out why. So this is how we can do that. Now, this stage right here, show but not ready. So if they showed up and it's like they have financial objections, they need certain things before they get started, you couldn't for some reason close them. You didn't put your best sales pitch, you didn't put your best foot forward on how to get this person on board with you, but they weren't budget. They say, I need this amount of time, which normally rarity it comes up where they do circle back around, but a lot of times they don't. So when that happens, you have to, again, keep that mental notepad of all the people who you need to get back to in 7 days, 14 days, 21 days. It gets exhausting thinking about that all the time. So I click a link, and that link puts them into a showed but not ready. And so what that is now, every X amount of days or X amount of weeks, they get an email and a text, not necessarily asking, hey, you ready to buy yet? No, be more just asking how they're doing and the updates. How did this go for you? I know you had this here. Is that still the case? So they can kind of see like, yeah, I think I'm ready now. I think I stalled long enough. And then if you have, let's say you're not ready, or about a 40%, you're going to easily get back 20% by doing things like that. And again, we're not touching any of it. The only time we touch it is when we build it out initially. Everything else after that is straight automation. And so finally we have show and pay, but that's self-explanatory. If you're able to get somebody's credit card information in that call, cool. If you send them a link for Stripe to go pay for an invoice, cool. If you're collecting payments or whatever, any other way, cool. You just know you have that option to say this person's been closed. So this is how you're going to, again, organize your client acquisition process, your internal operations process. So now you don't have to sit at the end of the day knowing you have 50 different outreach tasks you have to do. That's going to take so much time away from your high income activities. You're going to lose money. We don't want that. We want you to stay profitable. So that's how we This is why building these automations are important. So again, that's why I say always, when you build automations, always work backwards. Start at the end result and then start filling in those gaps from before they become a customer or before they, take whatever next steps they have with you. That's how you're going to literally get more sales, you're going to get more traffic, and you're going to convert on more clients by using automation by itself. If you're watching this video, make sure that you are, again, following the steps, making yourself highly profitable and focus on the automation to get more sales. Thanks again. I'll see y'all soon.